So in this topology, you can see there are switches, there are routers. Now this is your, there is a branch also. This is your branch. And this is your whole head office. I have shown a connection, WAN connection. It can be any connection. It is a serial connection now between R1 and R2. R2 belongs to branch. R2 can also be treated as internet. You see, there is an outside, there is an inside. IP addressing scheme is 2111 on outside, 2112, that is the router that is connected to internet or branch over WAN. Inside and outside is there. This is, I told you last time also, naming is important. So I gave a name inside and outside. At present, we have only one network, that is 10 network. We have not created VLANs. I will show you that topic later on. So your LAN is 192.168.10.0/24 network. Your WAN ASA outside interface is 2111 and router is 2111, and then 12111 and 12112. Demilitarized zone is 10 network. 10.1.1.0. This is actually VLAN diagram. So I'll write down the exact. At present, this is not there. This is server 1 and server 2. So this is 10.1.1 and this is 10.1. Actually, it is 10.1.1.6 and this is 10.1.1.5. Okay. And here one. So 10 network for demilitarized zone. So there are 3 zones. We have already kept server, which is 5 and 6 on switch. Host are there 10.1.1.2 and 10.1.1.3. So we'll just change this also. Four. 3 and 4. WAN network or branch network is 172.16.10.1 and 10.2. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll send you the diagram. You can also refer. Now let's go on for configuring of these devices. First we'll configure R1 host name. You can just see the diagram. Show IP INT brief. Interface S1 by 0. IP address is 12.1.1, 255.255.255.0 or 252, whatever you can keep. Show IP INT brief. So R1 is configured for S1 by 0, E0 by 0, 20.1.2, 255.255.255.0. So when I say show IP INT brief, okay. Now I'll go to R2, which is my branch router, and configure S1 by 0 and say no shut. If you see the router E0 by 0 is configured for show IP INT brief. So let's check the connectivity between R1 and R2 pinging. Okay. Now you need to do routing. You can have a default route facing internet. You can also have a default route or static route for R2. So I just added a default route between R1 and R2. So when I try to ping 172.16.10.1 pinging, 10.2 is not pinging. Let me check. This is a branch host. This interface E0 by 0 has to be configured for. I just disable the routing for this router and add a default gateway 172.16.10.1. So he's acting like a host. Try to ping the gateway. So I'm trying to ping the gateway from the branch host pinging. Can branch host reach him? Yes. So can R1 reach? Yes. So routing between R1, R2 and R7 is perfect. R1, R2 and R7 is perfect. R5 and R6 are server. So let's keep it here on this side. Now let's configure R3 also. Again, this is HO host 1, headquarter host 1, interface E0 by 0, IP address 192.168.10 dot anything you can give. So we plan to, we'll give 2 instead of 3, we give 2. I'll change there because if okay, IP default gateway 192.168.10.1, no IP routing, WR. R4 hostname HQ host 2, interface E0 by 0, IP address IP default gateway for this is again same, that is the IP address of firewall. So all these devices are going to face to firewall. Show IP route, you can see there is no routing. Show IP interface brief, IP address is given. Show IP route, nothing is there. Show IP INT brief, WR. So R3 R4 is acting like a host, R5 and R6 are acting like a server. So server 1, interface E0 by 0, IP address 10.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0, no shut, IP default gateway 10.1.1.1, no IP routing. So my server 1 is ready. Now I design server 2. So if I'm designing server 2, again I need to give IP address to server 2, and we have 3. So when I say show IP route, showing, so I need to,
No IP routing.
right, show IP route, show IP INT brief, okay. Gateway also has to be there. Gateway is there. So we'll just save it. Okay, so my R1 end to end ready. My R7 can reach. So you see R7 can reach up to R1. R3, R4 is configured, R5, R6 is configured. Now we'll see how to configure ASA. So let's configure ASA. Go to ASA. Show version, if you see, I have 5520. It's carrying a license. So have active. You can do context also in this. VLANs also we can do. So I just give a name, host name ASA. When I say show interface IP brief, here the term is show interface IP brief. Show interface IP brief. Okay, it's not showing anything. I don't know why. Okay, show run. Okay. So you see, if it is not showing any interfaces, that means we need to check the mode. It's single. Show firewall router. So it's in router mode. That is also there. When I say show firewall, it's showing it's in router mode. There are two modes, router mode and transparent mode. Show mode, single mode. Okay,
Okay.
not accepting. Wait, huh? So just stop and start. Edit.
Munar, which is updated iOS going on in Cisco ASA?
I think 10 is there.
10, 10. Okay.
But the commands are same. Okay. Clustering, everything is supported here also.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing change.
On E engine, will do clustering and all.
Yes. Clustering I will show you in my physical rack. Because there we
Okay.
have 5515X series. Okay.
Okay. In the Octa networks, or do we have your own
No,
physical
no,
rack?
Octa networks rack.
Okay. Okay.
We used to have four security rack, but then just because the lab changed, so all are shut down. But still
Mm,
we have that modules there intact. Okay.
okay.
Once the lab is out, like what are the now new devices are going to be added
Okay.
in the new lab, then accordingly the rack will get updated immediately. But still the things are not out, no. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are not upgrading it.
Basically, you are from where you are?
I'm from Maharashtra, Mumbai. Just 1 minute. I'll change the image and see. Okay, fine. Just 1 minute. I'm just stopping the share. Let me see it. Images. Change the image and made it boot once again. Let's start this. Show interface IP. Brief not showing. Show version. All of you there? You can see the screen, na? Right? When I
Yeah.
say show run, you can see now. When I say show mode, single mode. When I say show firewall, so I told you my firewall can work in single mode by default. My firewall is in router mode by default. My firewall can also work in transparent mode, that is layer 2 mode. My firewall can also work in multiple context mode. Okay. When I said show version, I can see there is a license here, VPN plus license, which carries a active failover and all those stuff. So I'll just say hostname ASA. What about the machines? Show IP/INT brief. Show IP-INT brief. We saved it. Go here and say show IP-INT brief. Show IP-INT brief. Show IP-INT brief. Good. Show IP-INT brief. Virtual ASA. At present, I just started one host instead of two for testing. Let this go down. So now when I see, I can see interface E0, E1, E2, E3. This is a licensed version ASA, so this is having some Ethernet interfaces. Otherwise, all are gig interfaces. So you go here and say IP address 20.1.1.1. See, it is not necessary which interface you choose for outside, which interface you choose for inside. But according to our diagram, E0 by E0 is being selected as what? Outside. So if E0 is selected for outside, I configured E0 for that IP address, that is 21.1.1. No shut. So when I say show interface IP brief, in ASA we can use show command anywhere. You can see the status is up, protocol is up, but you can't see the IP address because still you have configuration to be done. So name if I said outside. Once again, if I see, now you can see 21.1.1 is configured. When I give the command outside, by default the security level for that is 0. 0 means nobody will be allowed from this level, that is low level to high level. When I say E1 and say IP address 192.168.10.1, I say no shut, and then I say name if inside. When I say outside, by default it is 0. When I say inside, so other than outside or other than inside, if you give any name, it will be by default 0. That is security level 0, safe side. But just because I say outside and inside, he understood that inside means LAN, so he gave the security level. So when I say show run, I don't have to configure the security level. Name if done, security level is done, IP address is done. So when I say show interface IP brief, not show IP INT brief. In router you give show IP INT brief. Okay. One minute. I'll just forward this. So now when I say show show interface IP brief, I can see two IP addresses. Now I'll go to interface E2 and say IP address 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0 no shut name if DMZ. See, when I give the name DMZ, that is demilitarized zone, the security level is set to 0. So here I have to configure the security level to 50 because I don't want the security level of my firewall to be 0 at DMZ. So when I show you, I already told you that what is the security level. Low to high traffic is not permitted. Whenever you send the traffic from low to high, I told you about two policies. One is implicit policy and one is explicit policy. Implicit policy is something where it is by default. By default means nobody is allowed to come from security level 0 to high, that is 0 to high. But all of them who belong to high security level, that is my LAN, is allowed to go out without any policy. That is your implicit rule. But I'm not going to follow implicit rule. I'm going to allow some traffic to come in from internet, and that is my explicit rule. Implicit rule and explicit rule. So I did 0 year, I did 100 year, and I did 50 year. Can anyone tell me why I did 50 year? Anyone? I did 0 year, that means nobody is allowed to come in from internet in my network. I gave 100 because I want all of them to go out without any trouble. Why I gave 50?
Because DMZ can speak and go out outside direction easily.
Okay, so Tushar is telling, Tushar, right?
Yeah,
So Tushar is telling you want servers to go outside, right?
right.
So I can give 100 also, no, here. Can I give 100?
Yeah, you can do that, but
Then
So if we give the same security level, I mean that 100, the same security level will not be permitted, allowed.
but I can permit it, no, with some command.
Yes.
See, earlier version when I started working in industry as a network engineer, I remember we were not allowed to give same security level because that was the drawback in those iOS version. But afterwards they said no, you can give same security level also, it will work, no doubt, with some command. So I can give 100, no. I can give 50 also here, no. Yes or no? Will it work?
Yes.
That means 50 can go to 100, na. 50 can go to, and I can give 100 here. Okay. So I give 50 here? Yes. Can I give 0 here? Yes. Can I give 100 here? Yes. Will it work? 100 can also go now out. 50
uh,
can also go out. Okay. So can I give 50 here? Yes. Can I give 0 here? Can I give 100 here? But what is the problem now? If
but
anybody
now,
comes here,
mm,
he can go, no? Because 100 to 50 is allowed, no? High to low,
mm,
right? High to low is allowed. So it is
uh,
better I give 100 here, 50 here, and 0 here. That means 50 can go out. Anyone who is coming from 0 to 50 with policy allowed. But if you try to enter into LAN from 50 to 100, again it is not allowed. Implicit rule comes in picture. What is that implicit rule? Anybody try to enter from 50 to 100 will not be allowed. Got it? So I can give anything. I can give 0 year, I can give 5 year, I can give 2 year. So 0 to 2 is not allowed without any policy. 2 to 5 is not allowed without any policy, but 5 to 2 is allowed by default. But I can restrict them. That is explicit policy. So implicit policy is something which is by default. Explicit policy means which I define, which I give. So by default, I told you he will not recognize other than inside and outside. He will not recognize any other name. So when I gave DMZ, he said I will set this security level to 0. But then I said no, I want security level of these servers to be 50. So when I say show interface IP brief, I can see the IP addresses. When I say show run, I can save it out. So when I say show startup, permanent, show interface IP brief, I can say show route. What is show route? Actually, if I want to see the routing table of my firewall, I can say show route. Okay. If I want to see the routing table of my firewall, I say show route. You can see there are connected interfaces with their respective names also, outside, inside and demilitarized zone, and their respective IP addresses. That is 21.10, 192.160 and 10.0 and 10.110. So if I try to ping 21.12, that is my firewall, sorry, my router, which is facing internet, you can ping because it is directly connected. But if I try to ping 12.1.1.1, it's telling, sorry boss, you don't have a route to reach there. Okay. So what I can do, I can do static route or I can do default route. So the command is route. Now in firewall, you see, you have a direction for routing. You can do routing inside, you can do routing outside, you can do routing in DMZ also, because it's a middle device. You can have a firewall in between. You might have a branch connected with, suppose, this fellow, okay, over WAN. So the traffic might come here, so routing can be done between this guy and this guy also. So routing needs a direction here. So I said now I want a direction of outside and I want a default route, and I want this route to face router which is reachable. So when I say show route, you can see there's a static default route and the gateway of the last resort is set. I don't have to add 8 zeros. I can just add 2 zeros, that is one for any network, any subnet mask. Administrative distance of static route is 1. There's no metric for static routes, so it's 0. So administrative distance is nothing but the trustworthiness of the protocol. So can I reach 12.1.1? Yes. Can I reach 2? Yes. Can I reach 172.16.10.1? Yes. Can I reach 2? Yes. 100% successful. So you see now I can reach from year till year. Can anyone tell me, can I reach from R7 till year? Can I ping R7 till year? Security level 0. Tushar?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Okay. You can ping.
Because you have already put the default routes on R2 and R1 as well.
Yeah, but this is a firewall. So can I ping?
No, you cannot
By
because the
default,
implicit deny is there, right?
no. I believe the ICMP is allowed now. Now, by default, ICMP, TCP, UDP, and ICMP is also allowed now in ASA.
That means there is an argument that can R7 ping ASA?
ASA interface, yeah.
Okay. And
For me, it's not.
okay. So someone is telling
Cannot ping it.
you cannot ping.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you one thing. Cisco is also into firewall. Checkpoint, an Israel-based company, is also into firewall. Palo Alto is there, and there are many, Sonic Wall and all. Every firewall, every company have their own way of handling things. So if you're dealing with checkpoint, no doubt it's not our topic, but just to tell you the difference between ASA and checkpoint. In checkpoint, you're not allowed to ping this device, that is firewall. I'm not telling you to ping this device, or I'm not telling you to ping this device, that is server. I'm talking about ping this device, that is firewall. So checkpoint firewall by default don't allow you to ping, because ping is also what? Ping is what? Echo request and echo reply. and ping is also a kind of an attack. Can somebody can frame a ping of death or fragment attack on firewall also to busy him or to to harass him, you can say, in short. So it is possible some firewall, like I told you, the example of a very big company that is Checkpoint, you can't ping this interface, not allowed, that is for sure. But ASA is a company, or Cisco is a company with ASA firewall. He says, boss, yes, you can ping this interface. Implicit policy, always remember, implicit policy is something which I explain you. Once again, I tell you, implicit policy means all those who belong to security level 100, that is high, can easily go to security level 0 without any issue. Clear? That is your implicit policy. What is the next policy? Anybody who is there on low security level cannot go to high security. That is implicit policy. Here the question was, can someone ping firewall interface? So the answer is yes for Cisco firewall. But if you ask me Checkpoint firewall, it is no, you can't ping. Okay. So Cisco firewall says let somebody ping. I don't care. I am not worried about that ping. Let him come. So see, I am trying to ping firewall whose IP address is 20111. You can see the reply is going. But can this R7 ping R3? Or can this
No,
R?
no.
Now the question, yes, you can't ping, because again the question is, sorry, the thing is like you can't go from low security
Lower security to
to
higher
high.
security.
So R7 is getting stuck. So if I trace also 20 dot, sorry, 192.168.10.2, you can see it's not going, little bit slow. You're trying to resolve, so you need to give one command numeric in front of it. So you see he's going to his own gateway. Now from his gateway he's going to go to router 1 and they'll get stuck, because my firewall is following what, some policy. What is that policy? Default policy. Let's see if R3 can go from R7. Can R3 go from R7? Sorry, can R3 go to R7?
Yeah,
Can R3 ping?
yeah. If the route is there,
Route is there.
yeah, then it's surely the thing.
Okay, that means Tushar is telling ASA can ping. Huh? Route is there, no? Routing is there. That is why ASA can ping, no?
Yeah.
Can R3 ping is gateway? Let me check. 192.168.10.1. So firewall ping should be there. Say firewall is all. That means host 1 is able to reach firewall. Firewall can reach host 1. Good, no? So that means this reachability is also intact. This fellow can go up to till here. This fellow can go up till here. This fellow can, and though this belongs to this, So we'll see ping later. First we'll try to do telnet and see. Oh my god, it's getting looped. Okay.
How loop is happened?
Hmm?
How loop is happened here? Again?
Hello, I didn't get you. Your voice is very this thing. I can't hear you.
How loop is happened here?
You know. See, router one. I don't know. Let me check it. When I say show IP route, sorry. When I go here and say show IP route, I can see there is a static route which is pointing towards R1. Okay, static route pointing towards R1, R2, right? Towards R2. So when R7 comes to R1 and asks about 20 network, is telling I'm 20 network, but he is not able to give him this packet to this thing, though it is connected. I need to give one static route to understand these two networks also. And for that, I need to point it out towards firewall, right? This route is missing. Got it? The request was for 192, no? So R1 don't know who is where is 192. So R1 was giving it back to R2 because he don't know 192, he don't know 10 network, right?
Yeah.
So you can see there are two static route now which is pointing towards ASA.
I think there is a back-to-back, the default route is there, right? R1 and R2.
Okay. Yeah. So
there is R1, there is a default route towards R2, and R2, there is a default route towards R1.
yeah, that only, no? See, this fellow is coming here and asking him that I want to go to this fellow. So he's having a default route. So he's sending the packet to R1. Now R1 is not having any route for 192. So he's looking his routing table, which says again a default route towards R2. So R2 is giving, R1 is giving back to R2 and R2 again giving. So it is getting looped. Now let's see. So you're right. Now let's see. We do trace route. Now it's not looped because R1 is sending it to firewall and firewall is dropping. So there is no loop. Question was why there was a loop. Okay. Let's see if R3 can do telnet. So I just enable telnet. Line VTY 04. So I do telnet 172.16.10.2. What is the issue? Telnet is not going. In the new we need to say this command. I forgot that. So let's go to R3 Cisco. So you can see there's a branch host getting connected. That means the implicit policy is working. What was that implicit policy? All the traffic from high security level can easily go to low security level. So that implicit policy is working fine. I never did anything on firewall. So the telnet session is active now. How you know that telnet session is active? R3 is already connected to telnet session of R7, and ASA will show you the connection active. So what is the command? Show CONN detail. When I say show CONN means what? Connection. I can see a TCP connection outside, sorry, 172.16.10.2 is the target host, and the, so you can see the stateful behavior of ASA where he's showing you everything, every detail. He's showing you that one of my fellow or one of my inside host, this is the name of the interface, 10.2, whose source port is 15865. This is a random TCP port number. You must be aware that 021023 is reserved, and 10242 65,535 is open. So he took some random port number. Source is this and the destination is. How you came to know that the host is coming from inside and going outside? Simple. The source port will be always something which is open, and the destination always will be recognized. This is the first way to find out whether the traffic is going from inside to outside. Second is the flag. Now this flag is UIO. U means, if you see, you will get a definition for U, up. U means up. The connection is still up. I means inbound. The traffic is coming from the inbound data. O means the traffic is going out. So inbound data is going outbound. So there are two methodology to find out if the traffic is going from inside to outside. One is the flag UIO. The second one is, always remember, the source port will be the unique. Sorry, the source port will be the open port that start from 1024 to 65,535, but the destination port will be always recognized. Just because you did telnet, it is showing you the protocol also, the timing also, the inside, outside, all the details you can see. You can go on R7 also and say who. When you say who, he will tell you that somebody is connected. Who means to find out the active telnet sessions on a router, you say who. So he's telling this is coming. See, we are just we are just having a connectivity which is private, so I don't need to do natting and all. We are assuming that this is an MPLS connectivity between R1 and R2, so we don't have to do NAT. So let's assume that. Okay, I have not done NAT yet. So telnet is working. That means all the other services will work. Let's see if I can ping. Will the ping work, Tushar? So Tushar said yes, ping will work. Telnet is working. High security.
Ping won't work.
So who said it's not going to work?
Myself, Shiva.
Shiva. So Shiva, can you explain me why it's not working?
It is not the session based it. I mean the ICMP.
ICMP is what?
Not session based it.
It's stateless. It's a
Stateless.
Okay. Stateless means what? The connection is going out. Let me repeat. Okay. He is taking the packet and sending out also. You can see, no? Somebody is trying to do telnet. Sorry, ping. Who is that somebody? 10.2. Is in fact sending the packet out also. Can you see? But just because it is stateless, what happens? he is not allowing the return packet, that is echo reply packet, to come in. This is stateless behavior. Okay, because if you see, it is following some MQC. Cisco designed MQC. What is MQC? Modular QS command line policy, or you can say some policy language to define the traffic and to mark the traffic. That is like the importance was in quality of service. Quality of service is nothing but giving preference to certain important critical traffic over the detriment of others. And to do quality of service, Cisco came out with MQC, modular QoS CLI methodology, or you can say Cisco policy language, CPL. Now CPL works on a fundamental that you want to, in quality of service also, you have a this thing. What is that? That if you want to do quality of service, you have to do some classification, you have to do some marking, and then you have to do, so you have classification, you have marking, and then you have queuing. So here also in ASA you have some default configuration done which classify a traffic and then which marks a traffic and then it queues. So that is done through some policy language, and that policy language is having class map, policy map, and then you see service policy. Now what is class map? You point out the traffic. That means you try to classify the traffic, you find out the traffic. So here you can see a class map being created for all the default inspection. The name of the traffic is inspection, or the name of the class map is inspection default. And then you try to match the default inspection traffic. Okay. And then you created a then they created a policy map with some name, and then the policy map name is global policy. Can you see? A class map name is inspection default, policy map name is global policy, and then you see the class map is being called, and here you won't have ICMP. That means these are the protocol which are being taken care as a stateful inspection. So you don't have, so you can just go and add in this policy map the protocol, and you have to tell this fellow in the policy map, you go to class map and then you say inspect. You see there are a lot of protocols, you say ICMP. So I'm telling him, boss, you have to inspect this ICMP also. Why you're leaving ICMP? And because of you, I'm not able to ping. So now what he is doing, he is treating this as what? Stateful, and he always write it down the connection, and then he allow the reply packet also, which is coming from 170 to 16.10.2. So you see there is an exceptional case for ICMP, and which you resolved it by going in ASA and adding it into the policy map, global policy, class inspection default, and ICMP. Okay. Or you can do this with the help of some policy. So I'm just creating a policy. Access list is the tool here also. I said access list. I'm going to make a named access list out ICMP permit ICMP. I said host 172.16.10.2, and then I said host 192.168.10.2. Okay, and then I said access group out ICMP. Now I have two options here. One is for input traffic, one is for output. So in our case, if you see, the traffic is going to come from R7. So I am going to face my ASA towards R7. So R7 is coming inside, no? What is the problem actually? R3 can go out because it is going with high security level to low. Echo request is going, but echo reply is not getting filtered. So I said in means input, and then I applied on outside interface. So when I go and say show access list, I can see two statements I configured. One statement I configured is okay, and then I say access list out ICMP deny IP any. So when I say show access list, I created two statements. The first statement says permit, the second statement says deny everything. Let's see working. You can see there is a hit count. So what was the issue? What was the first methodology to allow ICMP is what? Go in the policy map, class map default, and add ICMP for doing inspection. That means I am telling my firewall that you also inspect ICMP, make it stateful. Second methodology is I create an policy with two statements. But now in this, there is one drawback. What is that drawback? I allowed R7 also. My question was, allow R3 to ping R7. I never said allow R3 to ping R7 and R7 to R3. But just because of my policy, even R7 can ping. You can see R7 is also pinging and R3 is also pinging. My question was, I want R3 should ping R7. I never said R7 should ping R7. So I made a mistake. What was the mistake? I allowed the whole ICMP for this host to go on this host. So I need to rectify this. So I'm going to remove this statement, or I'm going to add, suppose, echo reply. I don't want the whole echo request to take whole ICMP to take place. I want only echo reply to come. Okay, let's see. Gone. This is also gone. This is also gone. This is also gone. This is also gone. So again, I did some mistake. What is that mistake?
Deny statement has
Yes.
come up.
Yeah. So I did a mistake instead of. So I need to say access list out ICMP line 1 permit ICMP host 172.16.10.2 host 192.168.10.2 echo reply. Show run access list. Show access list. Line 1 and line 2 access list. It should work.
Extended keyword is missing.
It's okay. If you don't give also, it's okay. Actually, already there is a statement here, no? So same statement again I can't put. Okay. So first I have to remove it. That is why it is conflicting. So when I say show access list, you can see deny statement is still up. So what I'll do again, I'll put a statement, but this time I will make line 1. See, already if you see access list 1 is deny IP name. So I said I want this statement to be on line 1. So when I go and say show access list, you can see he just dropped this statement into line 2 when I said I want this on line 1. That time it was conflicting because already the same statement was there. Again, if I make it on line 1, then he was confused. Okay. Now suppose if I want to allow these guys for access list out ICMP permit line 3 permit TCP host to host say server equal to 80 or equal to 443. So now you see in future, suppose if I want to, if I make it 3, it will go down. If I make it 4, it will go down. So again I did a mistake. I should have told what I want this on line 2, but then I have to remove it.
Can you make it like ICMP extended deny that line we configured as on line 5 access list out I
Yes, that also you can do.
so we do not need to delete the any configurations. What we do
Show
access list
show access list. Line 1, 2, 3 is there. Okay.
yeah
So you mean to say we'll do what? Make it
access list out ICMP
line
yeah
5.
line 5
Okay. And then you
extended
said deny
deny
IPA.
IP any let's check
Now
it
it will
will
conflict, no? Because I need to remove it first.
okay
I can
so
go on adding the access list before
mhm,
this. That will
okay
get this thing. But I did mistake, no? So that is why he is not allowing me to. I
okay
would have done it before. So I don't have to remove anything. So I just removed it. That is on 3 or 4. Show access list. Let me check it. HTTP is on 3. Okay. So when I say show access list, now I'll create an access list which is allowing 80. Suppose I go here on line and say 2. Then I allow HTTPS.
or else Munar we can do also one thing like we only delete the line 2 from deny IP
Yeah, that
and
also you can do. Yes, you
yeah
can remove
we
that
can save our
statement,
time no
and once you. But no, every time if you want to add a new statement, you have to delete that. No,
mm,
suppose you want to add one more statement every time, you have to delete. No,
okay
okay. So now just you have to remember the line of the deny any, and you can just go on before this. Okay.
Mhm.
So access group, if you see, show run access group, it's already applied. So let's see. Ping is still not allowed because when I say show access list, it is only echo reply. That means only R3 can ping. Okay. R7 can't ping because it is just echo reply. Echo reply was problem, no? R3 was not able to ping. R3 was actually able to ping R7, but R7 reply was not able to come here because of stateless behavior for ping packets. So I resolved it with the statement. Now let's see if HTTP works. So I go here and say IP HTTP server, but then we enabled or we activated HTTP for 10, no? So I say HTTP server IP HTTP authentication local username ABC username Khan password Cisco. We will also enable telnet. So go here. Now you say show CONN detail. So you see the connection is showing SAAB. Now it is SAAB. Capital S. Where is capital S? Here only it is.
They're awaiting inside sync.
Yeah. So what is this capital S? Awaiting inside sync. Why it's happening like that? Can anyone tell me? I gave a policy, show access list, where I said host 172.16.10 can easily go on for www and https. Okay. So you don't have a browser here. So I did what? Telnet. But then you see the first is what? Telnet. So if you see S, okay, awaiting sync from outside, right? So what is the issue? Awaiting inside sync means it's a TCP packet. So whenever there is a three-way handshake, the other party sends a sync packet, and then this party acknowledge the sync. Okay. So awaiting, it's awaiting. Okay. It's sending awaiting outside. That means the three-way handshake is not getting completed. 342 is the deny. Let's see once again. So what we'll do, we'll allow telnet also to check this. Line 4, permit out ICMP. Line 4, permit TCP host 172.16.10.2 to host 10.1.1.2 equal to 23. Show access list. Now let's see. Now you can see the connection is successful. How you know that the connection is successful? You can see a flag called UIB. U means the connection is up. I means inbound. And B means initial sync from outside. See, when you did from inside to outside, it was UIO. When you did it from outside to inside, it is U. Like for example, if I try to do telnet to 10.1.1.2 Cisco. Now I go here and say show CONN detail. Now it is always confusing, like people don't get if it is this connection from outside to DMZ or DMZ to outside. So I told you, you should find out two things. If the connection is from outside, the source port will be always some unique some random number, and destination port will be always some recognized number. And try to understand the flag. It is UIB. U means up, I means inbound. So let's start. So you see now I try to do telnet, and when I say show CONN detail, white showing UFRIB. What is this? Cisco enable Cisco show CONN detail. Okay. So what is this flag? U means up, F means inside. So 1 minute. Show access list. You see there is a hit count for telnet. 2 hit counts are there for telnet. Once again, if I try to do telnet, Cisco hit count is now 3. Enable Cisco who? Clear connection. Show CONN detail. Show CONN detail. 172.16.10.2 is trying to reach here. Okay. Just try to do this thing. CONN detail. You see, initially when you try to do something from inside to outside, you get an option of UIO. You can see if I try to do telnet from here to 172, or I suppose I go for 12.1.1.2, I have not activated telnet here. Enable secret Cisco line VTY04 password Cisco transport input telnet and then SSH. If I try to go here, and when you see the flag on ASA, it is showing CONN detail. You can see it is UIO. 192.168.10.2 is trying to access router for telnet, UIO, high to low. But when R7 try to do telnet, it is UIOB. 172.16.10.2 is trying to do telnet to, so it is UIOB. UIO when inside host goes then do telnet outside, and when outside host, so U means up, I means inbound, O means outbound, and B means initial thing initiated from outside. You can see. So this is like, you have to study, but I told you, it's a simple methodology. Like whenever there is a source port, it is always some random port number, like that. By default, all the users from inside to outside, that is from high to low, is going. But suppose if I want to restrict, LAN user to go on server, because now R3 can also easily telnet. Just you can just press like that. No policy. There is no policy, implicit policy is there, which is allowing him. So and I make a policy and set access list into DMZ permit TCP. I say the whole network. There is no wildcard mask in ASA, it's subnet mask. And then I say the whole network of server, and I want them to do telnet. And then I say access group into DMZ in interface inside, because my traffic is going to come from R3, so I'm going to trap him here only. Okay, so suppose if I do in interface DMZ only for telnet traffic, let's see if I can do telnet here. Okay, telnet is working. So when I go here and say show access list, you can see there is a hit count for this traffic. But then this fellow tried to do telnet to 172.16.10.2. Now it's getting refused. So again I'll put one statement, access list in underscore DMZ deny IP any log. So when I say show access list, you can see two statement. There is a hit count of 0. So if this fellow try to do telnet, there is a hit count here which says no, you can't go to. So can anyone solve this issue? Can anyone tell me what I should do that my R3 should be able to do telnet to R7? I can add one statement, right, where I am allowing this fellow to do telnet here also. Now implicit is gone. Now only what is getting followed. So I wanted to show you one more thing in this configuration that I showed you in this example is what? When I do access list, that means that is called explicit policy. When I do explicit policy, then implicit policy is nowhere. What was the implicit policy? That R3 can go anywhere. R3 can go to demilitarized zone, R3 can go to R2 also, R3 can go to R7. Why? Because it is going from high security level to low security. But as soon as I put a policy here, now what happened? R3 is able to do telnet, but R3 is not able to go out for telnet because there is an implicit deny after that permit statement which says no, he can't go there. He can just go and there. So yes, I can resolve this issue by giving what? Line in underscore DMZ line to permit TCP 192.168.10.0 255.255.255.0, and then I said host 172.16.10.2 equal to 23. So when I say show access list, I can see there is a statement which allowing 192 to go on 10. There is a statement which allowing going. Let's see if it is working. Is going perfect. Can you go to 172? Yes, perfect. So both the policies are working. Show access list. There is a hit count for telnet. There is a hit count for telnet here also. There is a hit count for telnet here also. Clear? Where I trap the connection now? Here. Or I can do one more try. Show run access group. I remove this. Copy and say no. I apply this access group in underscore DMZ in interface. Sorry. Out interface DMZ. Now let's see how it works. R3 try to do telnet 2. Working. R3 try to do telnet. Working. But then I remove this statement which I created, allowing this fellow to go and do telnet to 172. So when I say show access list, I can see only one permit statement which says allow him to go on 10. So yes, it's working. When I say show CONN detail, you can see there is a UIO. Who is the source? 192.168.10.2, and where is going? 10.uio. When I say show access list, you can see in into DMZ is getting hit. Okay, good. And then I try to do telnet without a statement to one side. This is also working. So now you see again what is working now. 192 is trying to do telnet to 172. No access list. Which policy is working now? The policy which is working now here is implicit policy. So I just wanted to tell you that you can trap the connection here also, but then if you trap the connection here, then you have to allow them to go out for all the traffic plus here. But if you trap the connection here in outbound, so whenever the traffic try to cross this ASA interface E2, access group will be applied. He will be asked where he is going. He will be allowed only when the policy match, and the policy matches for telnet he is allowed. But when he is trying to go, then there is an implicit policy that is working which says what? All the traffic from high security level. So in this example, what I did, I showed you implementation at two sides. One side where inbound traffic is applied, where what is in and what is out. I try to explain you what is in and what is out. If you apply it on in, then you have to add one more statement to allow RSN also, because there is an implicit deny. He won't be allowed for out. But if I apply it on out, then R3 whenever going in the out direction of ASA for R5, then only the policy will get implemented. Otherwise, there is no policy from 100 to 0 and he'll be allowed. So in this example, I just wanted to show you what is the meaning of in and what is the meaning of out. If you apply inbound, what exactly the difference is make. If you apply it for outbound, what difference is make. What is input traffic and what is output traffic. how ICMP reacts. ICMP is stateless, so you need to add inspect ICMP in policy map in the class default, which is, or you can create your own policy map also and you can apply. If you create your own policy map and apply, where you have to apply, I'll tell you. You have to apply service policy, global policy. This is a global policy applied on the whole ASA. You can create your own policy and you can apply. The name of the policy map is global policy. The name of the policy map is what? Global policy. So when you apply, you have to name that. And where you are applying? You are applying globally on the firewall. Globally means on the whole firewall. So you can create your own policy where you can select the protocols you want to inspect and you can apply. Clear? I hope the basic configuration and the, so tomorrow we'll try to do something else. In that I might go for the new topic, that is object grouping, and we'll also, if time permits, we'll also go for NAT. Okay, I hope you understood today's lecture. Sorry for the delay because there was some issue with the ASA, so I just rectified it. If you are trying to have your Eve setup, then you can have this setup. Already you got images. If you want image for ASA, I can send you. I am having images for ASA. Okay, I will send you. And Mirza, sorry, what we'll do, Mirza, hope your this thing GNS got Eve got rectified or issues called solved. Mirza, are you there? Okay. Have you downloaded the new version? What exactly? So what we'll do? What's your time now, Mirza? Where you're located now? Okay. So tomorrow, what I'll do in the morning or in the afternoon, I'll connect to you through Zoom and then I'll try to rectify it. Okay. Just message me and remind me. So I hope this was clear with you guys. Any doubts you can ask me. Okay.
No. Munawar, are you going to share this image of ASA?
Yeah. I will try to send you. Recording
Okay,
and image, I'll upload it today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye. Take care. Good night.
Good night.